Welcome back to Your Questions, Your Money. Let's get to another email. Jessica from California writes, should I go into debt to start my own business? If not, when is the right time for me to financially pursue this? Danny, John, to you first.
Today.
Right, absolutely. First of all, there's no time like the present. We've listed a million reasons why this is a fantastic time to go for it. You can kind of strike while no one's expecting you to do so, and then be prepared for when the economy naturally rebounds. So absolutely. Now, how much debt you're willing to go into is based on your risk aversion, and then how profitable you think your business is going to be and how passionate you feel about it. But I'll tell you, I've never started a business that was not that became unsuccessful without having capital funding. And if I was passionate enough about it, did not matter what happened on the financial side, I still made it work.
Should you try to raise cash, though, some other way before you go into debt?
No, you should. Well, obviously, you should get cash from every place you could get it.
Mom, dad, brother, sister.
Well, that's up to you. Danny hates borrowing from relatives. I'll take it from anywhere I can get it. But look, this is a great time to start a business. Now, gentlemen, this is a great time to start a business because, first of all, you have to learn a lot of stuff to start a business. When the market's crappy, you can learn for free because you're not giving up business to do it. Second of all, you have to build a brand. A brand is what your customer looks at to know what they can count on you for. You have to do it for a while before they trust you. Do it now so the next time you have a hot market, you're ready to make a lot of money.
Isn't this a lot like having a kid? There's never a right time to have a baby. You just got to dive in and do it.
Well, yeah, I mean, my analogy is it's like trying to teach someone, what to do in the bedroom. Throw out the textbooks, jump in the sack, and then see what the heck happens. Well, you'll figure it out on the way.
You roll over and go to sleep. What do you mean? What?
You may roll over and go to sleep.
You don't wind up in bankruptcy court with having relations with somebody.
Yeah, but listen, bankruptcy is not the end of the world. I ran 2 private equity funds. I've had the pleasure of handing the keys to a judge on occasion. It rips your guts out. But I'll tell you what, the next day you get up, you go and you try and do it again. Bankruptcy is a way of cleaning the slate so somebody can light their fire again and do it. Do not be afraid to fail. I once did work.
Encourage bankruptcy.
But I want to, Salvatore, because you borrowed to start your business. You borrowed against your home.
Absolutely. I mean, John said it takes time to put businesses together. You have to have a whole marketing strategy, a business plan. It just doesn't happen. So I definitely recommend to get up your butt. Let's do it now. Now's the time. And it does take a year, 2 years, sometimes longer to, get your product out there.
That's why it's always great to get your ideas going when you already have a job.
Scott?
Yeah, I think another point, too, is when you start a business in times like this, there's less competition. And then once you get to the point where the market has turned, things are starting to sell, you're already established.
Let's get on a call. Good point. On the phone is Leonard from Kansas. Leonard, what do you want to know?
I just got a quick question. Is there a safe place where a person can make 3 or 4% return on your money without losing your money while waiting for the economy to get a firm direction?
Scott?
Well, let's put it this way. You say a safe place. If you want to put your money aside for 30 years in treasuries, you can get 3%. Anything beyond that, you are going to take some level of risk. Again, I think great opportunities right now are in the corporate bond market. If you use an ETF, your risk is diversified among a lot of different companies. You've got yields on these ETFs now, depending on the quality, somewhere around 5%. It's not perfectly safe, but I think it's a lot of safety there. I think you'll get some capital appreciation also. But you definitely want to use an ETF, not individual corporate bonds at this point. There's just too much risk if you go with individual names.
John, Uncle Sam needs to borrow some money. Why not lend it to him?
He does need to borrow money. And I like the ETF strategy because I don't like people to have to try and pick a specific name when they aren't able to do the homework. But I don't want people to own bonds right now because the rates are so low today that if you need to cash the money in anytime before maturity, there's a very good probability the prices will be lower and you'll lose some of your capital. I think bonds are riskier than stocks today.
Do you mean treasuries or do you mean corporates or do you mean both?
I mean all of them. The structure of rates is going to go higher in the next couple of years, not lower.
Where would you put your money right now?
First of all, I would not reach for yield. If the market will only pay you 2% on a safe investment, suck it up, take the 2% and tighten down.
What's safe? A CD?
Money market?
Well, what's safe is Treasury bills, obviously. CDs in banks up to the insured limits, which is $250,000-ish right now, is okay.
If you go through the Cedars network, you can insure up to $50 million.
So put your money in the bank.
If you have $50 million, then you don't need to call in. But,
Yes, for sure.
right?
I know. I'm just saying.
David,
Go ahead.
Where I would disagree with John just a little bit on what he just said, though, is I don't think you can see the stock market recover if you don't see corporate bonds recover at the same time. They're higher up in the capital structure, and I do think you've got a good opportunity for some capital appreciation there as well. But I think you'll have to see the bonds do well for stocks to recover.
All right. Well, we've had a tremendous number of calls over the past several hours, and we're trying to get as many as possible. So keep calling.
You still have time. 877-249-9626. We'll be right back.